Hi there, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend. I can't believe we're here on another Monday. Oh my gosh, I'm just realizing I forgot to bring up the card with all the dimensions on it. So I will just have to read them out loud for you guys, and I'll add them to the comments on the video later. Wanted to show you guys some things I've been working on in the studio. Earlier I posted that I was playing with a new stamp set called Peekaboo Farm, and it's got these really cute little farm animals and a little brick wall scene that their little paws or hooves will fit into. I guess I should say hooves. I think they all have them. Will fit into, make it look like they're peeking over a brick wall. So lots of fun things that you can do with this. I'll show you a couple of things I did while we're waiting for everybody to come on. So earlier, this is the sample I posted. Well, I saw another sample done by a fellow demonstrator where they made these look like baby blocks. They spelled out the baby's name on the card. Thought that was totally cute, so I kind of went with a similar concept and did that look like a baby blocks thing there, and it's in really bright colors. And I'm going to be making a, hi Sherry, hope everything's good up there by you. I'm making a version of this in kind of like the softer pastel colors that are complementary to this, and I'll post that onto, hi Carol, good to see you too. On my page so you can see what they're done. Hi, Kathy. Here's another one I did with the cute little cow and some of my blends. So I colored in the stones on the brick wall and a little bit of him. And the hello there comes from that stamp set as well. And then I wanted to point out one thing to you guys in case it might be hard to find in the catalog, but there's a die set called Give It a Whirl. And what's cool about this is it cuts out all the parts that you can make a card with a spinning window in it. So look at that. There's my piggy, there's my ram, and there is my cow. Okay, so this is the part that cuts out the entire front, and then you can pick what shape you want. You can have either the wide pie shape kind of thing like that. You can have a heart, you can have a circle, or you can have a rectangle, and that lines up with where this little hole will come into place. So you're going to run it through again with one of those shapes, and that'll cut the window out where you want it to be. And then this is the wheel, and you just cut that out, and then you put a brad through where all the holes are, line them up, and hi Mom, how are you doing tonight? You'll get a little spinner like that. Isn't that cool? So I think I'm going to be using this concept maybe in an upcoming class and see if I can get all the parts out to you guys to play with that and making your own spinner card out of it. I think it's just really, really, really fun. So I think it looks like we've got a good, good amount of people on. So let's get started on what we're creating tonight. This is another one that's going to be able to use up your scraps really, really nicely. So hopefully you have all that. So you're going to want your card base. I told you guys to pick a neutral card base this time. I'll also show you versions where it's not, so that you can see the differences and what you can do. Hi, Mary Lynn. Thanks for joining me again tonight. So you're going to have a 5.5 by 8.5 piece with the score at 4 1/4. And then you're going to have 3 pieces of designer series paper. The largest one is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then your next one down is 1.5 by 2 3/4. And then you're going to have a piece that is 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. I took all of mine from the Pansy Petals pack. They've got pretty floral patterns and really neat other patterns on the back. You can see this is the exact opposite side of that particular one. So it's kind of nice when you can get them even from the same piece of paper to be able to do that together. And then I asked you guys to have along a coordinating ribbon. I have the Evening Evergreen ribbon from the New In Color collection. So you're going to want a skinny-ish ribbon, so probably 1/4 to 1/8 inch width would be good for this one. And you're going to need some glue dots. And then if you have a phrase for birthdays around, I will show you what we're going to be doing with that. So you can always add that later as well. All right, so start with your card base, your 5.5 by 8.5, and give your score line a nice fold. Okay. Then you're going to measure out this is totally approximate because we're going to cut a little bit off if we need to, of 5.5 inches or so of ribbon. So that's about, like they said, this is about 5.5 inches wide. So go about the length of your cardstock and cut off a piece of ribbon. Oh, and we're going to have this go that direction. Okay. Take your largest piece of designer series paper. The side that will face down is the side we're going to look at first, okay? We're going to put a glue dot on one of the ends of our ribbon. And you're going to attach that. Now, if you have directional paper, make sure you've got the correct direction. You're going to put it about in the middle with the glue dot to the back so it looks like a kite, okay? This is the part that you want to be facing up, and your ribbon is going to hang off the bottom and look like a kite tail, okay? And just hold on to that where it is for now, and you'll see where we're going with that in a minute. Then you're going to take just your regular adhesive and run that across the back of this. So with that kite tail still facing down, put this near the bottom so it looks like it's got a pretty even border around the sides and up the edges. And then just give that a little burnish to put that down. All right, so you still have your kite tail hanging off of this end here. All right, then go with your next size up, the one that is the 2 3/4 inch width. Put your adhesive on that. And you're gonna center that over this one. Okay, so again, even border on each side. And again, I told you guys you could substitute in cardstock or DSP for some of these. So the idea being you're gonna have 3 layers and you kind of want them to alternate in looks. So either layers 1 and 3 are DSP and this one's cardstock, or layers 1 and 3 are cardstock and this one's DSP, or they're all the same. Okay, so all DSP or all cardstock. Forgot to mention that at the very beginning. Okay, so then you're gonna take your littlest piece up here. All right, now you wanna take a glue dot, and I'm gonna just put this directly to the paper itself, centered near the top of that rectangle up there. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but just near the middle, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this up now and let that attach at the top. Okay, so now your kite tail has come across all 3 layers and it's up at the top. And then you're gonna bring your scissors in and you're just gonna trim off what you don't need. It doesn't have to be a perfect cut because we are gonna hide this little loopy part up there. So you don't have to worry if it's not a perfect clean cut or it's a little off the edge or something like that. Okay, so we took our kite tail all the way up to the top with a glue dot up here. All right, give me a little thumbs up if you guys are going right along with me. I know this was hopefully not too complicated tonight. And hopefully that was an easy direction to follow. All right, you're still gonna want your ribbon, and you can do one of 2 things. If you're good at bows, go ahead, tie yourself a little bow with a loop and around and a loop and pull it tight. Whoops, I caught at the edge there. There we go. Okay, so either give yourself a nice little bow, and then you would trim that off, and that's gonna go right at the top. Or, hi Jessie, I'm so glad you made it online tonight. If you're not so great with bows, just tie a knot with some tail hanging off, basically, with 2 tails. Okay, so don't pull this too tight, leave it a little loose. Okay, so I'll show you that part. I'm gonna leave just the tail with this version because all my other samples have a bow, and so that way you'll be able to see either way, okay? So trim off your edges as you like. Then you're gonna take the glue dot. Now again, I like to take my product in that's exactly my point, my idea here, Jessie, is where I'm trying to get you guys to be able to use up scraps, because if you're like me, you have a whole bunch of them. And then we're just gonna put that right at the tippy top. So basically what it looks like for you right now is you have a stack of presents, okay? So if you have your birthday phrase, if it's a really big phrase like a verse, I want you guys to flip that open and put that inside. Mine's gonna be really simple. It's just gonna say happy birthday on it. And then I'll show you an alternative you can do, again, to the front of the card to add a little bit more. So actually I'm gonna pull this a little towards me because otherwise it's gonna be crooked. Okay, so there's my happy birthday. And I did that in the early evergreen ink to match my ribbon. And that phrasing, my phrases tonight are coming from Sweet as a Peach. This is one I just got as well. And I realized after I got it, I totally forgot to get the designer series paper to go with it, which I was absolutely loving and is on sale this month. So as soon as that comes in, I will be having some peachy samples as well. But I love the fonts in this. I think they're so cute. So you've got Have a Peachy Day, Sweet as Peach, Happy Birthday, Thanks so much. A cute little hello. Look at how little and cute that is. Flowers, peaches, some other little phrases to fill in. So this one's a really fun set, and I can't wait to get using it in all the way it's meant to. So like I said, I have a happy birthday on the inside. And then if you want to dress up the front a little bit as well, grab a little piece of scrap that is probably neutral, again, to match your card base. And I'm going to take another phrase from there, which said, "Let's celebrate you." And just going to stamp it down. And it doesn't really matter how centered, you know, whatever, like this is just a piece of scrap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it down. Whoops, try that again. I'm going to trim it down to just the exact size of the wording. Okay, and let's hope I can make nice straight cuts on camera in case my hands are a little shaky. Okay, so there we go. Let's celebrate you. Pretty close. This edge needs a little more off. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Okay, so I have a "Let's Celebrate You" tiny little tag, and I'm gonna go ahead and do, you could put dimensionals on this. I'll show you some of my samples in a minute that have the dimensionals, and then otherwise I can just stick this on with glue dots, and you're gonna stick it off of your present just like it was a tag for your present. Okay, let me see if that's getting into focus there. There we go. All right, so again, it's about 5.5 inches of ribbon to start with, and then you add either a bow or a little knot at the top, and you look like you have a stack of gifts. And I want to show you guys, this could really go for a whole bunch of occasions. Obviously, the first one I jumped to was birthday. I think it's an occasion, obviously, we send the most cards for, and I figured it's a phrase that pretty much all of you are going to have. Thanks, Kathy. Are going to have in your collection. I don't know anybody who doesn't have a stamp that says happy birthday on it somewhere. Okay, so that was that sample. Oh, did I freeze? Shoot, hope it's gonna, there we go. Okay, this one I made, this is the gold and rose gold glimmery paper. Let me look at how that sparkles. That is just absolutely incredible. And this is the Expressions in Ink Designer Series paper. It's got gold metallic running through it, and I thought it made a perfect combination with these rose gold and gold, really super shiny Designer Series papers. So there again is my happy birthday. It's the same one I used on the inside of my sample from before. Looks like my video keeps freezing, and I'm hoping it's not too bad for you guys. I'm not sure what the connection problem might be, but I'm gonna keep plugging away and hoping that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And just double check messages. Oh, okay, hopefully everything's going. I have a frozen screen, so I'm hoping that everything is still going strong here. This one is kind of meant to be more of a wedding card. So I have gray, basic gray, smoky slate. Uh-oh, my connection was lost. Well, maybe that's just with my TV though. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down, and then I can have a little more control over what is being seen instead of just being over to my TV. Okay, there we go. So this is one I said, like, I kind of meant it to be more of a, like a wedding card. That's why it says congratulations. I used that silver mesh ribbon, that stuff that's really kind of cool. It was from last Halloween, and it came into the new catalog, the annual catalog. Okay, good, Matt. Thanks for letting me know I'm not freezing up there. I think it's just the connection to the TV in my studio, which means I just can't see what I'm showing you guys. So I used one of the Designer Series papers that has the pretty metallics in it, and then did that. And here again, I wanted to show you, this is one of my samples where I didn't do the neutral as the base. So the base is the basic gray, and I will put a white panel inside here when I'm ready to send it. And I did a layer, a 4 by 5 1/4 layer of the neutral, so that it pops off those guys. So you can see the difference when it's on a neutral base and then not on a neutral base. You definitely want to have something behind the papers to show them off a little bit. Okay, and then here's another one I did with, let's see, this is the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, the one that has a lot of wood patterns and wood grains on one side, and then very textured tiles and paint looking things. And then for the DSP in the middle here, I used the macrame embossing folder just to give that some dimension as well. Okay, and then I used our white seam binding in there, and again, white card base, but because these had lighter parts to them, I put a Misty Moonlight. I don't know why I keep calling that color midnight. Misty Moonlight layer on there to let those white, because if I put white on white, it's really just going to wash out and nobody wants that. So a couple different ways there again to show you what that might look like. And then lastly, here's a sample similar to what I just did on camera. Again, just switching out the base color. So I went from a white base only to a white base with a mint macron layer. I switched the direction of the DSP just for something a little different. And I switched the color of the ribbon. So this is the Fresh Freesia, pulling in some of the lighter colors from here because I thought the dark ribbon along with the greens might be a little too dark on this one. All right, so let me lift that up a little bit. There we go. So you can hopefully see what those are like. I know there's a little shadow now since I have to move the camera, but okay. So there we go. There is those guys. And we'll bring in some of these samples. So once again, I really liked this one because it was a way to show you guys how to use up your scraps. It's kind of been a focus the last few weeks. Well, maybe not last week, but the few weeks before that. Because like I said, if you're like me and you're with all your projects, you probably have a ton of little strips that are skinny, short, whatever. And what can you do with those? Because you really don't want to throw them away. They're perfectly good paper. So let's get crafting this way. So here we've got a whole stack of gifts. And again, any occasion. So like I said, you can think of a wedding theme, obviously a birthday theme, anything there to celebrate you. So any kind of congratulations method, anything that's going to be going on for people. So I hope you guys had a good time with this one tonight. Make sure that you send me you can either send me the pictures or you can just post them directly onto the thread with the video because I want to see what you guys are using and what you guys are making. All right, well, thank you everyone who joined me tonight. I'm really glad there wasn't the glitch live as there was just in my studio transmission. So, all right, I will look forward to seeing you guys all again. Oh, Mommy made a Christmas card. Perfect. That's actually where I got the idea from. Is I had one from a long time ago, and mine is in the Christmas patterns. And I thought, absolutely, we're going to translate this to something else. So, yep, Christmas would be perfect, Mom. Good idea. All right, you're welcome, Kathy. Thanks, everybody, and Carol for joining me tonight, and everybody else that I can't quite see on there right now. And I will have this video up for review within probably 20 to 30 minutes, along with all the photos of the samples. Thanks again for joining me tonight, guys, and I will see you next Monday. Bye now.